Ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Hello, Dr. Hillier. Thank you so much for joining us today to discuss the administrative assistant position here at Sarah Bush. My name is Morgan. I'm the department director here. I oversee daily operations, and so I'll be working very close with you. And Santhi, would you like to explain a little bit more
Sure.
about you?
Hi, my name is Santhi. I'm one of the faculty members here at Sarah Bush. We are very committed to do everything as we promise. And I've always let students grow or in hospitals as people wanting to ask more questions as needed.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you, Santhi and Morgan, and you can call me Nikki.
Nikki, okay. All right, Nikki. So for this meeting, we really just want to learn more about you and your backgrounds. And not only that, but we want you to know more about us and share some information about kind of what we do and what our team stands for. So for this interview, we will discuss a little bit about Sarah Bush, your position, ask you a few questions, and then kind of open the floor for you to ask any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Thanks for highlighting the process.
Yes, of course.
Do you have
Santhi,
any questions so far by any chance?
No, I'm ready to hear about Sarah Bush and some of your values.
Good. I will send it down. Give me 1 second.
while she's kind of looking into getting her, while she's kind of doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about Sarah Bush. So we value a culture of philanthropy here at Sarah Bush, meaning our employees, no matter your position or role, contribute to the overall goal of the company, which is making healthier surrounding communities. We are very teamwork oriented, and our number one priority is to provide excellent care for our patients. We are very patient care centered here. And
We like to
also,
piggyback each other as well. Sometimes,
yes,
oftentimes I go into Morgan's office, be like, "Oh, what did you learn today?" And I ask her questions, and she asks me questions as well too.
absolutely.
Sorry,
And then,
a little bit.
okay.
Video here.
That all sounds great. I like the whole atmosphere of philanthropy. I like the idea of working in teams, keeping that communication open, having some mentorship and feedback.
Yes, that is what Sarah Bush stands for. Like I said, providing excellent patient care, no matter your role, whether you are clinical, non-clinical. We believe that each employee has an opportunity to change or help improve a patient's life. And so that is kind of a little bit about Sarah Bush. Santhi, are you wanting to describe a little bit about the administrative assistant role, by chance?
Yes, I can. So basically, we get back to the community as a whole. We don't want anyone to feel discriminated or left out. We want to make you feel like you're family members. Even if you're having a rough day, you're always welcome to come into our office, either Morgan's or mine.
Yes, we really value open communication here in our department. Oh, hello?
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like I thought maybe I was losing it for a second. We
Nope.
value open communication and oh, there we go. Okay. All right, I see we have the job up for us to see. Okay.
Basically, we're talking about the description of like what your department's going to be in the radiology administration, and like what you're expecting to have a pay rate. I know most grad students at in the beginning, they're like, oh no, I can't do this. I'm gonna be so nervous. I want to make sure as a person, I'm always welcoming people to come into the office, even if we have a tough day. Just come in. We're not too shy to explain anything if you have any questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we also like to mention that you're not going to be working alone. There is going to be another person. So if even if we're not around, you can always go to your coworkers. Be like, hey, I have a question. Do you know how Morgan or Santi did this? And that's how we wanted to get it started.
Wait, what's your question?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay.
I was saying, like, if you have any questions, you can
Yeah,
always reach to us or to one of our coworkers.
Good to
We're
know.
open-minded.
okay. Cynthia, are we ready to jump into her particular job position?
Yes, we are.
Alrighty. I see we have it up. Is there any way you could zoom in, Cynthia, on your
Yes.
end? So we can kind of see that a little bit closer.
Is that better? Sorry, this is like an eye there.
So,
Better?
yep, I think that
Okay.
looks pretty good. All right, Dr. Nikki,
Yes.
no, you can obviously see that as well, so I won't read that off to you word for word.
Okay.
But I'll give you kind of an overview of some of your daily responsibilities. So a large part of your position would be communicating with patients and other healthcare professionals. And it's one of the most important parts of your role because it ensures accuracy in the department. And you're the frontline person. So it really sets off a first impression for the patients and promotes a very comfortable environment for them to be in. So you'll be doing things like I said, speaking with patients, answering phone calls, emails, receiving orders, whether that's electronic or through the fax. And so you'll be responsible for putting those in each patient's chart. You'll be organizing office supplies and just other daily tasks like that.
Even for the appointments, I want to say, like, we make sure that you understand what to do in the beginning. We tag you with a team member. If you have questions, we'll be like, so this is how many we're gonna see as like people, like as patients. For let's just say today we're gonna see 4 patients. Some might be newcomers, some might be that always come frequently. So they might come and recognize me like, oh Nikki, how was your day today? Or I like your hairdo or something like that.
Yes. So patient communication is a very big priority, like I mentioned. Organization is very important, as well as being a team player is big in this position because you're working with not only other administrative assistants, but you're working with lab techs, you're communicating with physicians. The list goes on and on. Really, you could be speaking to just about anybody in this position about certain aspects of patient care.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about the position. Santhi, do you have any more to add about the position?
I would also say, like, don't be shy to ask anyone questions. Everyone started fresh. You're not going to be the only one. They'll sometimes even tell you their stories. Be like, hey, this is what I learned from my first day experience here at Sarah Bush. And hopefully, you will be able to share that information for the future generations as well.
Sounds good.
Sometimes we have puppy therapies too, so you might
Oh,
see some
nice.
puppies.
I love it. I love it.
So there will be
We
some yoga sessions.
we don't have any dogs, but we foster dogs a lot. So
That was all I would like to add along.
Alrighty, I guess we will jump right into some of the questions we have for you, Nikki, if
all
that's
right.
all right. Okay, my first question I have for you is what motivated you to apply for this position?
Well, right now I'm working an after school program and it is a lot of fun. But I studied community health in undergrad and I really want to do something in the field where I can also work with other people. Like I love talking to people, love talking to strangers. And I figured this way I could kind of use the skills that I learned in undergrad, but also engage with people, teams, other health professionals.
That's great because, like I said, that's what you'll be doing a lot. To follow up with that question, my next one would be you said that you communicated with others in your past positions. What are some other skills that you learned that you think might help you in this position?
So, one of the things that you mentioned was working together as a team, and I bartended all through undergrad, and that takes a lot of teamwork. You have drunk people, you have angry people, you have partying people, you have excited people, and a lot of times things break down. Somebody's got to go change the beer keg. We ran out of glasses, and there's no more dish soap. So, that really prepared me for working in teams, being able to communicate better, and being able to work with a lot of different populations. So, not necessarily where I bartend, that was kind of like a one size fits all kind of place. But when I started working at the after school program, there's a big diversity of kids. Some are foster kids, some are kids with a bunch of money, all different ethnicities, and all different kinds of parents. And so I really learned to work with a lot of diverse groups of people, a lot of different personalities. And the other thing I think about in this position is that it seems to require a lot of organization. And I am the queen. My inbox is at zero. I'm very organized. I have my email set up really well so that every email that comes in is taken care of. I have one to-do list, and I click through it every day, every month, and so on. So organization is a good skill for me. I'm really good at learning new systems. So I'm familiar with like our intake system at the after school program is not an EMR, but I am familiar with some of them. So I think I'll be a quick learner for that system.
Awesome. Awesome. Those are all great skills to have for this position. Cynthia, would you like to ask?
Yeah. I was just waiting until your question was over.
Oh, my apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. If you had a rough day, how would you communicate this through with your boss?
Um, Thanks for that question,
Mhm.
Xanthi. At the after school program where I work, we have some tough days. We have some kids that get in fights. We have, our personal stuff that goes on at home. And we usually start the day before the kids get there to just kind of talk about it. If if something happened, just to kind of keep in touch as a team. So, I know, oh, Morgan's dog just died, so we got to make sure that we don't, that we don't put her in crafts because they're making dog pictures today. So we kind of keep all that in mind, and the workplace is kind of set up as a culture to check in with each other. But if it was something personal and it wasn't something where we really had checked in with each other, I think I could go to my supervisor and just pull them aside and say, hey, this is what's going on. So if you see me tearing up, or this is a task I'm not going to be able to do, just to set some boundaries with my supervisor.
Right. And another question is, as my follow-up question, how would you approach the situation if you had a rough day, but you still needed to deliver results in a timely order fashion?
So I'm always good at just taking a minute and doing some grounding or just some deep breaths. So I don't have those habits that I used to have, like taking a smoke break, but I do feel okay taking just a 5 minute walk outside or a couple minutes to just take to myself and do some deep breathing.
Thank you so much for that information, Nikki.
Nikki, I really liked what you said about having open communication with your boss if you are experiencing a challenge at the workplace. We value our employees' happiness and well-being, and so having that open communication is very important. So we know what's going on and understand you. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that.
Yeah, I think a workplace
My,
can really establish a culture for that so that you feel comfortable saying or checking in with each other.
absolutely. Absolutely.
We always value and being heard as well in the community as well.
Yeah, that's all I've heard about Sarah Bush is that it is a very
Yeah.
supportive environment.
Absolutely. It is. It really is. You know, everyone has a life and outside of work, and they really go above and beyond to meet you where you're at, you know, for each employee. So my next question for you, Nikki, is if a patient were to express frustration or dissatisfaction to you, what steps would you take to ensure that the patient feels heard while also resolving the issue?
So, one thing that I've learned with working at the after school program is to share what you can do, not what you can't do. So, start by listening and hearing what the problem is or what the issue is, and then instead of saying like, well, you can't do that without a mask, or you can't do that without a vaccine, or you can't do that, I would say what can we do? So if this person needs help after being heard and expressing themselves, I can share with them, well, these are the things we can do. We can move you to this room, or we can call this person for you. I can have a social worker come in. So what can I do to help that situation?
Absolutely. Focusing on what's inside the circle of control.
Exactly. Because when somebody's upset and you say no, 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 it's just going to escalate.
Yeah, or absolutely, or being like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. You know, that doesn't benefit anybody. So
You got to
very
negotiate.
wonderful. And another thing with that question, something that you will be taught in the future if you work through Sarah Bush is we also use not code words, but kind of like phrases. They are universal scripts that kind of help our employees speak with patients when there is an issue that arises. So you won't have to go into it not blind, but without any tools. And so that's also very helpful.
Good to know.
Okay. Sandy, do you want me to ask another question?
Yes, I do want to ask another question. I was just waiting until you wrote your notes down. How do you stay productive when new priorities arise?
How do I stay productive when what?
When priorities arise or responsibilities.
So at the after school program, I have to balance supervising the kids, preparing the crafts, the different activities, and communicating with parents. So I start every day with like what absolutely has to happen first. So I have to make sure that safety plans are in order, that the kids' behavior plans are in order. And then I organize smaller tasks around that. And then I have to stay flexible. You don't always know which kids are coming in. You don't know which parents are coming in. And so being able to kind of go with the flow and address things as they come up beyond the absolutely must do things.
And another follow-up question is like if the patient wants their parents or their children to come into the room and let's just say we're not able to allow them, how would you handle that
Um,
situation?
Kind of like what I mentioned to Morgan, I
Mhm.
would let the child know what I can do. So I can bring you a teddy bear. I can call your parents. Maybe we can FaceTime with your parents. What can we do to make them more comfortable? Not what can't we do? So I'm not going to say, no, your parents can't come in. I might say, oh, can we call mom? Oh, can we talk to the teddy bear like their mom? Something along those
Yeah,
lines.
that sounds good. Thank you so much for answering.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah. I do want to let both of you know that I did get a notification that we only have 10 minutes left of
Okay.
this meeting. I'm not very Zoom like tech savvy. I tried my best to set this meeting up, but I
I
just
should have done it. I'm sorry. Because we
no,
have at EIU we can do up like unlimited hours. So, but anyway.
yeah. So now we're down to like 8 minutes. So
Okay, that's
kind
right.
of
If you guys do you guys feel like you have enough to write the hiring recommendation about me? You should ask the question, Morgan, that you had that was about weaknesses. I can't remember what it was. It was a good question. It was like, what are you most concerned about or something like that?
oh, what
Like,
make
how do you handle the situations?
it, it was along the lines of what aspects of this position are you
Yeah.
hesitant about? Most
Yeah.
hesitant about?
Yeah. Because that way you can write, there's on the hiring recommendation, you have to write like strengths and weaknesses. And that's a good way. I don't know if you've seen any weaknesses, but okay. Yeah. So, I, I am excited to learn about the EMR and excited to learn about the new systems, but that's what I'm most hesitant about. I am kind of nervous about learning a new software system. I don't know if there'll be more than one system that I'll have to work with in terms of radiology versus intake, and that might be a steeper learning curve that's kind of intimidating for me. Um, I am a people person. I do like to talk to people, but I just need to make sure that I have time to decompress like on the way home because sometimes it's a lot to be on all the time.
Absolutely. Those are very valid concerns. I will say, whenever it comes to the EMR system learning process, with your training, if hired, it will be a 2-week process beforehand where you spend time learning workplace flow, learning these systems. In the back, you won't be facing patients quite yet. So that'll give you time to learn all the ins and outs, ask all the questions you may have. And like I said, we value open communication. So if you feel you're not ready at that time to face patients, then you let us know and we will meet you there and help you learn things that maybe you might be struggling with. So
Thank you. That's very reassuring.
Oftentimes, I do like a refresher program for our new employees. We do recognition. We do like the employee of the month. We make sure, hey, this person's doing a good job. Sometimes we take our employees to lunch at Starbucks or wherever they prefer to be.
Nice.
alrighty. And when it comes to decompressing, we understand healthcare is it can be overwhelming at times. And so we understand that. And if there is a situation in which, you feel overwhelmed, we will definitely allow you to step away for a moment and, process your thoughts before you, you know, disregard them and keep working. We want you to prioritize your mental health as well. So,
Thank you. That's good to know.
I do have one question for you, Nikki.
All
Who
right.
decided to join this team of ours?
Well, like I mentioned, I do want to use the degree that I earned as a community health
Mhm.
major. And I, every intern that I've talked to, every employee that I've talked to, every patient that I've talked to always talks about what a great place Sarah Bush is, that everyone is so supportive. They're always willing to answer questions, that everyone is so kind and smiling. Everyone that works there loves working there. So it just seems like a great place to be.
Morgan, do you have any questions?
Nope, I think I don't have any more questions. No. Dr. Hilliard, do you by chance have any questions for us?
Yeah, so I was wondering, you mentioned how long the training would be for learning the system, but what about onboarding? How long will it take me to kind of get through orientation and onboarding?
So you have two different options. If you are available on our orientation days, you can come in person, which I would suggest to you. It is very interactive. We do a 2-day almost immersion where we go through our organizational values and we bring in speakers, which is really interesting. And you just learn you learn the foundation of Sarah Bush basically. And or you can do alternative orientation, and it is a set of modules that you can complete on our communication platform on your Sarah Bush computer, in which it's similar, but it is not as interactive, I would say, as the in-person orientation.
And the other thing, I know that there's been a lot of violence in healthcare. It's been increasing, especially since pandemic. What kinds of things are put in place at Sarah Bush to protect employees and other patients?
So we do follow the HIPAA rules, and like we also have a security officer who's there all throughout any shift because we have some from the morning through the night. And if you have any concerns, we also have like a little emergency button by your desk. If you can check underneath, if you just press that, the police officer will come to your area and they'll ask you, what is the situation? Like they'll respond to you right away what to do next.
All
Morgan,
right.
do you want to add anything?
Hello?
I said, did you want to add anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I thought it like glitched.
Yeah,
We also have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to violent behaviors at Sarah Bush, which can result in any type of so a patient or anybody exhibits any type of assault or any violent behaviors, there are immediate.
It's okay. I know we're running out of time. You can go ahead and.
Sorry, I'm like stressing.
Yeah. Okay. So when will I hear from you guys? What's the next steps?
I would say in a week or so, we will give you a phone call or send you an email saying, hi, congratulations, or like, we appreciate your time.
Well, Sandy and Morgan, it was so good to meet you and talk to you and interview with you. It sounds like you work at a great place.
Yes, thank you for meeting with us and thank you for your time today.
All right. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for doing this. Yes. I'm not sure what to do about Caitlin, but that's out of your hands now. So, and